South Africa's energy insecurity is hitting businesses and households hard. The undesirable situation has prompted business to come together to try and find alternative sources of energy. Some of the discussions being had today are expected to revolve around sustainable aviation fuel, green hydrogen and liquid fuel at a two-day conference that starts today at Gallagher Convention Centre in Midrand. Someone who's there for us is reporter Pelane Phakgadi, joining us live from Midrand. In fact, now, Pelane, so in terms of the wide scale, or shall we say the variety of business leaders gathered there, the ultimate objective is to keep the lights on. But what are they willing to do to make sure they get there?
Well, to keep the lights on, the ultimate objective, as you rightfully put it there. But a lot has to go not only into business, but the policy around how they go about it. So those who are gathered here at the South African National Energy Association's main symposium really is to try and ensure that they are going to be in a position to persuade policy and as well as its implementation. This is happening while COP27, of course, is going ahead. And one person who knows quite a lot about energy and its sustainability. Let me bring in the former Eskom CEO, and that is, of course, Midrand. Thank you very much for joining us here. You're part of the symposium here. You had a few words to say a little bit earlier on. I heard you specifically talking about how it is important in order for us to reach the power generation that is desired in the country, that there has to be, a coordinated effort, and which is, in relations to government and as well as the public sector. All of them should work together.
Good afternoon, Pelane. Yes, this is quite an important discussion that's happening here. We have to solve the current problems we have, but more than that, we have to think about a different future. We need to look at utilizing all the resources we have. Coal is not our only resource. We have water, we have solar, we have wind. We need to bring all these to play. We also need to bring all of the sectors of society to put a hand into this effort. It's going to require time, it's going to require urgency, though, on our part, to get this done properly, so that we don't have to go through such a disruption to our lives and the economy as we are undergoing right now.
I mean, talking now about, the current undesirable situation that we find ourselves in, load shedding at its worst. I mean, as a former Eskom executive yourself, what are some of those things that you've already mentioned currently are so much important and urgent through this kind of symposiums that you believe that you'll be able to share with government to try and fast track on so that we can be able to get out of load shedding?
Yeah, as I've said, it's really about mobilizing all resources. So we need investment. There's many competing projects for investment. So we need to design very carefully the kind of projects that we want to be undertaken. And we need to get investors interested in those. We need to get the kind of policies from government that are supportive of more players coming into the sector. A lot of this is starting to happen. There's nothing to stop anyone right now building a solar or a wind plant that's any size that they want. There's nothing to stop anyone participating in the building up of the grid, the national grid, which has to evacuate this power. So things are changing, but we all need to be aware of what can be done, and we really need to work together to make sure that we get it right.
Are we on the right path as the country? The current, path that not only the power utility is taking, but as well as government. Do you think, through your personal experience, do you think that the country is on the right path to at least try to deal with the energy security in our country?
I think we've started out on the correct track, but there's a lot of work to be done. It's just not going to be up to a utility or up to independent power producers. It's going to be, business playing a part. We're already seeing it. Mines are putting in their own power, but it's going to involve integrating all of these resources to ensure that we have a sustainable plan going forward.
Definitely, Tulan Kavacha. Thank you very much. It's the former chief executive of Eskom, the power utility, and of course saying that they need to be a coordinated effort, not only from business, government as well, and all the companies that are dealing with independent power producers, so that they can be able to bring an end to the load shedding crisis that the country currently finds itself in. Tembi?
Phakgadi, thank you.